welcome.
This one's Axe to Grind.
Yeah, no,
right.
I felt like I was yelling, and then you
are yelling.
Yeah, sometimes you say
we
that
have to
I'm
be
too
careful
loud.
about that.
We escalate.
Which actually, what do you think? Honest appraisal. It doesn't matter what you answer me. Am I the quiet one?
Of the three of us?
Yeah.
No, I
in
think
a
I'm the
group
quiet
setting, for sure.
Like my voice is, but I think my voice doesn't
voice-wise?
carry.
No, I think I might be the quiet one.
No, your voice
don't know.
carries.
But you guys get excited.
That's that's undoubtable. Yeah, that's true.
If it's after, you're like a mogwai. Like if it's after 10 o'clock, your voice gets quiet.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. I live here.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's true.
In group settings, I'm quiet. That
Group
might be
settings.
true.
In group settings,
You're
with people
introspective.
you don't, who you're less familiar with.
You're an enigma wrapped in a riddle.
I don't know. I don't know if I've been in too many. In group settings with people you're comfortable with.
Oh, I can hold court.
You'll go.
Yeah.
You'll hold court.
Were you just going to say,
when you're
I
in
don't know
group settings with people you know, they don't let you hold court, you motherfucker.
Yeah, they go, fuck this
So
guy.
like,
Well,
yeah,
they try to interrupt me.
But I think when you're a group setting with a bunch of people you don't know, you could hold court more than you know. And you
Probably.
Yeah, so.
I've told you when people just want to talk to me like, oh, I enjoyed your band, and then I end up fucking torturing them because I'll just
You punish them out of it.
Oh, I punish them.
You reverse punish.
Yeah, it's anti-Punisher. What's the who's Punisher's prime?
So you're Frank Castle.
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yo, for anybody, look, there's 400 people that follow my little comic book newsletter, and I'm excited
Follow
about
my comic book newsletter.
I'm
5
excited
minutes
about
in.
that. Excited. If I can get it up to 500, it's pretty good for a small guy. But
Let us know when you're at $4.99. We'll delete ours.
So here's the point.
Amen.
Though. I was writing about the Mike Barron Punisher run, and for anybody that doesn't know about it,
I'm feeling punished right now.
Some of it's just cocaine ramblings. It makes no sense.
Yes.
It's bad writing, but the jigsaw puzzle
So wild and fun.
is so wild and fun. And
But Jigsaw the movie.
the first half of the jigsaw puzzle, not the second half where like there's the rev
Goes off the rails.
It goes off the rails. The devil shows up. It's weird, but the first half. When you got that Mark Texiera art,
Really good.
oh my
So
god!
Mark Teixeira is one of his best.
Oh, dude, the nihilism of the whole thing is insane. The violence is over the top. It's
Where's
beautiful.
he now? Teixeira?
I think he only does commissions, but maybe he does Hollywood stuff. I haven't seen him on a book in forever.
I agree. A long time. So what'd you think of that early Moon Knight stuff that you were reading?
I'm still getting through it. It's
So crazy, man.
All right, when you get to, I think around 9, 10, 11,
Yeah.
we get Midnight.
yep. No, you get Midnight early, but then Midnight
Early.
shows up later as like his son or some bullshit.
Yeah. When you get to Midnight, the second part,
What is happening?
it's good. It's a good run. It's solid. It's an underrated. Marvel launched at that time 4 books at the same time. Quasar, Moon Knight, the John Byrne Namor run, and New Warriors, I believe. Tom died in his chair.
New Warriors was a breakout hit for me as a kid.
It was good,
Of
too.
a certain age, that was just the shit.
I think it's our age. But the Moon Knight run got overshadowed by all of those. Even Quasar,
Yep.
strangely enough.
That's wild.
I was reading.
Even Quasar.
I was reading. Yeah, well, Quasar is.
And then Valentino's Guardians came out in that same time frame, right after that.
Yep.
Yep.
Quasar was the name that the Beastie Boys played under their assumed name.
That's correct.
When they played when they played Coney Island High.
Is that true?
I think it was a Wendell Vaughn tribute. So
That's all I know about Quasar. They
All
literally
right.
played as Quasar.
Well, I'm Patrick.
I'm Bob.
And I'm Quasar.
I'm Mark Spector. Then.
I'm Darkwing.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm Frenchie.
Okay. So, by the way, last thing I'll say, Tom. I know
Holy
you're suffering. I know you're
fuck.
suffering.
He's dying.
The way that it is such an overt Batman rip is just so crazy.
Talking with a friend last night. Spider-Man equals Superman's friends and family and job, etc. Plus Batman's rogue gallery.
Okay. I'm gonna have to chew it. I'm gonna have to chew it on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy.
Welcome to a hardcore podcast. We talk about hardcore a little bit.
Sometimes.
Once in a while.
On occasion. What's the pulse of the people? Are they enjoying our hardcore talk?
We've been killing it.
Yeah?
So let's pull back. A quick note. Thank you for everyone who's listened. By the time you heard this, it was a few weeks ago, but we crossed 500,000 streams.
Oh!
That's kind of crazy.
Which is wild.
It is.
It's really cool. We think we broke the tracking metric because it broke right before we hit it. So that was cool.
Yo, hold on. Let me explain how funny that was. Because I that was when I was in my tooth pain and I was busy.
You couldn't give less of a fuck.
But the group chat's blowing up with what is going on with these.
Why do we
fucking
only have
numbers?
one listen?
Yeah, so for people at home, SoundCloud tried some new software
That failed.
and so all the tracking
Got
was,
really funky for 2 days ish.
Yeah, so like we do decent numbers for a small podcast, and it was registering a day in as us having 4 listens or something.
Decent numbers for a small. Who the fuck? This asshole gets.
It's a modesty thing. I'm just.
You're the least smartest person I know.
I try to be humble.
He tries to keep some of it. He picks his spots for low keyness, but in a weird way. So,
But he's the most braggadocious asshole in worst possible timeline.
No.
Here he's trying to downplay.
because he knows
No.
Eric will let him roll, and he's still flexing. I just listened to the episode where we talked about
very abusive.
how Eric gets abused by Patrick.
He's very abusive.
Yeah.
It's not true.
I
It
think
is
he
true.
pulls out his red hat and throws it on.
Eric bullies me.
Bullshit.
That's a lie. You liar.
bullies
You
me.
can,
No,
you can
it's-
barely say it out
The
loud.
last time I listened, you yelled at him for like yawning or
Yeah,
something.
because yawning
Yeah,
drives me
that's
insane. Watch
What are you,
me.
fucking
I shoot,
Vince McMahon,
I
you
shoot
fucking
daggers
weirdo?
at you too. When you listen back, it sounds like
I
the
ain't
room
Eric.
is falling asleep.
Yeah, you'll kill him.
I will fucking throw you out a window.
Watch my eyes.
Yeah,
Watch my
Undertaker
eyes.
style.
Okay.
So
So
a weird fun fact is that since February of last year, and this is stupid, but people have been listening to Axe Grind every hour since then.
no shit.
Yeah.
That's
so
nice.
that's crazy. Yeah, it's
Yo,
really
shout
cool.
out to the listeners.
So shout out to everybody.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to Deathwish, Closed Casket, Run for Cover, Triple B, Urban Cabin Soap Company, all our buddies, everybody who supported us, because that's really cool.
Single
And we wouldn't be able
mothers, the New York Mets, pharmacists who do their job the right way.
Single Mothers the band?
No, I was well, yeah, sure.
I like them.
too.
Public
Cool dudes.
transportation,
People that bus
people
drivers.
who ride buses,
Tom gets
people who don't take children on buses.
Oh yeah, Tom gets the bit that I'm doing. The
Yeah.
Joe Budden podcast started doing a thing where they would give shout outs, and then people started writing them
Devolves.
and being like, "Well, what about civil service workers that wake up before 4 a.m.?" So now they try to keep pace with it, and it
Yeah.
ends up being very funny. Where they'll be like, "People that assemble stereo equipment."
Shout out to those 3 raccoons that fought when we were driving home that
Oh
one night.
yeah,
Right.
it was really crazy.
Yes, shout out to them. Do you think they're still alive?
One of the 3.
Okay.
Is my
One
bet.
of the 3
big
died or
one.
alive?
I think one is
Or
alive. The
Are,
worst.
are they still over there in that weird spot?
Yeah, where was that? Maspeth, right?
Maspeth.
Yeah.
Do you guys see any of my Instagram stories where I'm dealing with the wildlife upstate?
Muted you.
I muted. No, I did.
You scumbag.
I did. I literally did.
You scumbag.
I go back and check every once in a while. I muted a few of my closest friends because you guys are the fucking worst.
Scum.
Yo, if I don't see your face and Morgado's face on a fucking selfie in a minute, I will be a better person
You
for
know
it.
what? It's not like I'm doing blue steel. We're talking to the camera. What do you want me
That's
to aim it at?
fucking
My
weird.
What do you want me to be staring at when I'm talking? What do you want the camera on?
I don't know. Just not on you. Maybe have the pug.
I mean, I've been doing more of that.
No, but
Oh,
you can be like, what about, like, I mean, I had to say, I have a
about your
video of you
friends?
doing cheerleader.
Yeah, that's
Like,
cool.
I saved that because I want to send that to you. Every once in a while, when you think you're hot shit, I'm going to be like, remember this?
God.
Remember this phase?
You know I'm not gonna have any shame. I actually really enjoy the karaoke. I do. It's not just
Karaoke's cool.
It's
You
not
should
just
do
a
the
mental
karaoke.
illness. It's
I feel like it's good for your
really
health.
popping.
That is I think
I like to
my
stay positive.
lean for a live event is we should do some karaoke thing.
I love karaoke. I'll do it
So we
anytime.
should do it.
Before
This devolves any further, what were you talking about with your story? Did you want to tell us something you did?
I'll search you now and watch it.
what the fuck were we talking about?
You're talking about your Instagram stories.
Oh, there's just so much wildlife upstate.
yes.
You know what I mean?
correct.
It's
Did
you're
you
upstate.
forget?
I did. My mother lives
Oh,
now. She bought it. She got a new place, and she is facing the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And firstly, it is pitch dark for upstate. Like,
Oh, yeah. No light pollution from.
truly like
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
little,
no.
very very little. And even though she lives not far from shit, but
You could walk to Crossgates.
the other day on my do people want the update on my life, or you want me to make it quick?
Let's do sponsors and then get
Okay.
to the update of your
All right.
life. Let's start with our buddies at Deathwish Inc.
Okay. Let's talk about Deathwish. Instead of talking about a Deathwish release, I'm going to talk about a Deathwish affiliation.
Because you know what we say, Deathwish distro,
Strong.
banging.
Strong.
Go order those records. Let's get it in first. You go there, enter the promo code.
Axe to grind.
You're going to want to...
You spell that out.
10% off, deathwishinc.com. Let's talk about what they got going on in the distro.
So looks like they have teamed up with Armageddon Label, which I would have to guess that's the Armageddon shop. Yeah.
Yes, Providence, Boston. Yep.
Providence and Boston. For those of you that like the experience of going into record stores, this would be a one to do that.
Go do that. No promo codes work there, but that's fine.
Who knows? Maybe say it to them. Let's see what pops. Who knows? So
just go into any store and say, "Hey, I've got this promo code.
Yeah, exactly.
You take this? Can you give me 10%?"
Maybe it's like Bed Bath and Beyond, like they take other people's coupons or something.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
You
go
just
to
be
Bed
like-
Bath & Beyond.
Just like walk into fucking like
I want my 10%.
screamers on and be like, oh, so let's say Axe to grind. Oh, before you do this, I was told you're a band that plays bigger shows.
On occasion.
I was told that there's usually a merch password at some of these bigger venues. That like they'll set you up, like set the merch guy up and be like, all right, so if anyone comes to you and says X, give them whatever they ask for.
Wow.
So a friend of mine works for this band and their password was Frank Castle. Which I was like, what does that mean? Because it's the fucking Punisher.
Yes.
So like we made my friend go do it. And they're like, yeah, I was told Frank Castle. And literally they're like, oh, what do you want? Take whatever you want. And they gave her a bunch of stuff.
That's awesome.
So it does work.
I would like the promo code to not have to pay venue merch fees because
You get the 10% off. You get the 10% back.
Talk to fucking MGMT, buddy.
doing these.
They got to make that work.
Doing these. No, there's no wiggle. There's so.
Tell me more about it. I just made it happen.
So, how much did you drop it, or did you drop it by a percent? I refuse to believe. I'm going to need it in writing.
I'll pull it up right now.
The fight that
That's
the reason
big.
I know this is because it wasn't for us. It was for a big band and trying to get it reduced. And I was witness to the whole sort
Yeah.
of thing. They got it dropped by like 5%. You know what I mean? After battles. So
Yeah.
maybe people don't know what we're talking
But
about.
I guess at that level, that's a lot of money.
It is, yeah. So people that don't know what we're talking about, if you play typically not even larger venues, some just highly professional
Right.
venues, whatever.
If you go to the merch and you realize, wow, this shirt's a little bit more expensive than I thought it would be.
There might be a reason for that.
That's the reason most of these venues take anywhere between 15 and 25%.
Yeah.
Of your merch bill, of like your merch. They
Sales.
count you in.
Yep. So the highly professional ones count you in. The more casual, particular for openers, will just say, "What did you sell?" And I would be shocked if anybody in the history of the world was fully honest about that.
Sure.
But it's an understood that you're not being fully honest and whatever. And it is. So I'm going to pick my words carefully because I represent not just myself, but two bands, right? That sucks dick, and
It's
I hate
terrible.
it, and I hate it, and I don't think it's an honest way to make a living for these fucking venues. I think it is.
Is it for them to hedge their
counterintuitive.
bets in case your show sucks?
If the show sucks, I'm not going to be making
Make
any
merch,
fucking money
too.
on
That's
merch.
true, too.
It's just a way to fucking
Extort
make
more
a little
money.
bit more money. And look, venues, I appreciate you. I do. I get that it's hosting fucking bands is a fucking hassle on a lot of levels. I get it.
And maybe if your band's not a drinker crowd band,
Yes, yeah,
they
you
need to
gotta
supplement
find ways
it
to make
somehow.
money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
Yo, you know what's crazy? So there's things I feel really strongly about, but a weird change. This
Really?
might be like a testosterone thing, like a dip or something, like a change in my life.
It's happening, yeah.
I now just try to see the other side and give them the whatever credit I can before launching into the thing that I feel strongly about, right? So I think merch cuts are straight up
Is this the
criminal.
equivalent of like I'm not a racist, but did he just do that? Like,
maybe.
I'm not a racist, but blankety blank.
No, but I'm just saying, like I try to understand why they would do something, right? Even though I hate it, and even
Sure,
though I'm
sure.
about to rail against it. But yeah, I get it. Like, look, running
Yeah.
a venue's tough. Your margins aren't great. You really got to be doing bar sales, and you don't get that every night because what if the crowd is a drug crowd? You're not
Sure,
selling them
sure,
drugs.
sure.
What if your crowd is a straight edge crowd? Nah, you're all
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
SOL. So whatever. Point is,
Not many straight edge crowds left out there.
no,
buddy.
no. So if they're doing bar shows, they tricked them. You know what I mean?
I
Everybody
hope
got
the
money.
Palladium has grenadine.
Yeah, there you go.
They got money. They're going to do fine.
I want some grenadine.
So, my point is, I fucking hate it, and it makes me mad.
You know what we don't hate?
What?
Deathwish Inc.
And Armageddon.
And
Oh, no, we don't hate Armageddon at all.
Armageddon label.
Yes. Let's see. What should we suggest? I just ordered
The Drop Dead shirt.
the Drop Dead
Drop
I
shirt,
did see that.
which I've worn every day, and weirdly, my mother has not noticed. I interact with my mother every day.
There's a certain level where she's numb to you.
She is.
So that's fine.
She really is. Like, I say wild shit, and she just, it really rolls right off her back.
She's just you're gonna be like, Mom, do you remember that thing I was telling you about? She's gonna be like, mute button.
Yeah. No,
I muted
I
you.
muted you.
Precisely.
I also recommend the Mutilated Tongue 12-inch.
Oh, yeah.
Talk is Poison dudes, new band. It's fucking great.
Okay.
Fast, hardcore punk shit. It's good.
Yo, did this
Dirty.
Totalitar? Did this record mean something to you?
Not to me. It's fine. It's good.
Because it was around.
It was around. It was
I can
really
picture the
important to a lot of
goddamn
people.
logo.
Yes, you can.
On every
right?
shirt.
Yep. Very big.
Round,
It's
like
big,
kind
big,
of
big.
unavoidable.
Cool that it's partnering up with Deathwish. They partnered up with a bunch of other new stuff to do distro. Neurot store.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Really cool. So just keep an eye on that. They got a lot of stuff cooking. Hey,
There's-
who else do we want to talk about?
Let's talk about Run for Cover.
Run for Cover. They got a lot of new stuff cooking. Runforcoverrecords.com. You enter the promo code,
Axe to Grind.
and you're going to want to
Spell it out.
15% off your whole order. New records coming out. Horse Jumper of Love, So Divine. Check this out. Really pleasant.
Yeah?
Very nice.
I don't know what it
Yeah.
sounds like. I haven't checked it out.
Gentle. The songs I've listened to are gentle and pleasant. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way on a hardcore podcast.
In my
Got to change the flavor.
my tooth pain, I don't enjoy music, so I just haven't fucked with anything in like 2 weeks.
What have you been listening to?
Damn, mostly like
You've been watching
own
TV,
thoughts.
YouTube?
yeah, I was lost in my own thoughts the other day. Yo, have you taken a walk?
Without, yeah.
Yo,
yes.
you tried this new shit walking?
I walked with another. I just walked the dog around in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
little
yeah.
stroller, and I didn't. I didn't.
hate so much of that sentence.
and the dog's legs don't work. What do you want?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Oh, he doesn't?
well, she struggles. She
All right.
struggles.
Well,
a
don't we
lot.
all?
But the point is, I
Get
was
better soon.
I was
Vanessa the
walking
dog.
around at night,
Yeah.
just trying to
Yeah.
work on some comic book shit, and I didn't bring my little phone, and I was thinking, damn, it's quiet. Oh, I'm alone with my thoughts. I said,
It's a wild world,
I said,
man.
Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, so I've been listening to my thoughts a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, not really.
All right. So, Horse Jumper of Love is a great alternative to just listening to your thoughts.
Yeah, really anything.
Check that out.
Sheet metal.
Also got Young Gov new record, which is cool. Ben Cook.
Has he changed his sound, or is it what he was doing when he first came out? I don't know.
It's an extension of that. I
Okay.
think he's doing a little different, but
What was the other stuff? Was like kind of power poppy, right? Like
This is kind of
Britpop, like not Britpop, but like kind of
power pop is a good way to describe it.
like yeah.
Like jangly on top of that.
Oh, I know. I remember that. I don't want to go to the party. That's the only, that's the song I remember. It was like a
Marvelous
single a
Darling
while
song.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was.
That was, yeah. And
Shit.
he's done a lot of
All right.
bands.
Young Gov.
Young Gov.
Solo?
But this is solo stuff. I think it's really cool. I think it's a nice fit. Currently on tour with Culture Abuse and Tony Molina. If you like either of Culture Abuse or Tony Molina, you probably would fuck
There you
with this
go.
pretty hard.
And Dare's on that too.
And Dare's on it. Different sound than Young Gov.
Yeah, a little bit.
But cool
Cool
that it's
idea.
on the show. Yeah, I like that mix.
They're
I do
good,
like it.
good stage divers, though.
True.
Yeah, Dare. They just played in Brooklyn. They did a secret show.
Oh, that's
Culture
right.
Abuse and Dare jumped on. They
That's
played
right.
as well, and they did an Outburst cover.
When things go right. So go to runforcoverrecords.com, enter the promo code Axe to Grind, spell it out, 15% off.
15.
Let's get it.
Crazy.
Thank you also to our other sponsors who are doing fucking tons of big shit. So you'll hear us talk about them a bunch. Closed casket activities and Triple B.
Ba, ba, ba. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. We're gonna do.
Is get it.
So we're recording a couple episodes because you're gone all July.
I'm gone a lot in July. I'm
I'll
gone.
be gone till November. I'll be gone till November.
I'm gone. So yeah, that'll get announced by then, right? No, different.
Sure,
thing.
this is coming.
different thing.
And that's
you're
all
gonna
of them.
Probably
So-
be on tour.
Sorry, I
already.
was thinking about the tour in the fall. My life is a mess, and I can't keep up with these tours. Yes, I'm going to Europe. Yes. So 3 weeks, basically. Is that right? And then
I don't know.
So say
What am I, banned
So
in
when
town,
you
dick?
when we told you yesterday that hey, can we record tomorrow? It's because I had just found out from Pat minutes before that, because I'm gone on that starting tomorrow, and I was actually going to fly out tonight,
Oh,
but I pushed
shit.
it back to tomorrow so
Where
we
you
can
going?
do this. Flying into Vegas and then going to Grand Canyon, Zion,
Oh,
Arches.
shit.
Yeah, so it'll be
What?
fun.
The fan?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to the D League.
Wow.
Oh, I wish I was going to G League.
It's
That's
G
the
League?
week after.
Huh.
Yo, it's fucked up. I'm missing, because they have heart shows, Simmons is doing a live set at the G League. And unfortunately, hardcore. Get in the way. So yeah, just doing that. We're going to go hang out in the desert for a few days.
That's cool.
Sick.
There's like 3 or 4 days that are completely unplanned, and I want to go drive around, and Amanda's like, maybe we'll just hang out and relax. And I'm like, all right, that's fine.
It's also cool.
Yeah, I can do whatever. I'm happy with whatever. It doesn't matter.
So, yeah, I'm away, and then I think I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con. I should. I don't want to.
You should. It's
a
a good move.
You go for the whole weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest one in the world, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bigger than New York?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bigger than
New
New
York
York,
is
but
close.
New York is big. And
New York is growing.
And
But
I
San
prefer
Diego's the
New
one
York.
where they get like all the movie shit, though, right?
They do.
Like they'll be like, "Here's the new fucking Superman."
Yes.
And fucking, yeah.
They do.
It's a good. You got to go.
Career-wise, I'm
Gotta shake
supposed
some
to do it.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you a Riddler costume to wear, and you can
Oh, dude, riddle me this.
Yeah.
You know
Patrick
what?
Kindlin.
The only it might be more fun if I did cosplay.
I
It might
agree.
be. Should I do a steampunk? What should I do?
Steampunk Patrick.
Yeah, done.
Just steampunk version
Done.
of yourself. You're
Fuck
just
it.
wearing a monocle.
Maybe
Fuck.
you mention Axe of Grind, cosplay as someone who gives a shit.
You notice he hasn't been promoting, right?
Who?
Because I've been counting.
Oh, I have been counting.
What?
Yeah,
It's
so
coming out of his pay.
Yes, that's
What
right.
are you-
That's
goddamn right.
He's excited about that. He thought because he hasn't been getting punished in the group chat that like, oh, maybe they aren't noticing.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Every goddamn Tuesday morning, I'm out there fucking handing out
He's
flyers.
like the fucking
on my way to
paperboy.
my job,
I-
fucking hustling. This motherfucker
I have
can really like.
He's got a brand.
Ask the labels I deal with. I have a more pulled back approach to promotion.
Yeah, is that what you call it? You fucking asshole.
Speaking of promotion, I
Yeah,
got
what do
some
we got?
questions.
Okay.
You'll never have one with that attitude. You'll never get one with that attitude.
No, I got to work for myself with that attitude. It's fucking. You're absolutely correct. What
Hey
do we got?
guys,
Bob's got questions.
this may not be super punk to talk about,
Okay.
but I just graduated public relations school, so it's interesting to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That entire intro was a long play setup to this. Triple B in Wildside purchased a billboard above a building in their hometown to promote the Wildside album. I think this was really effective because it created a cool, cryptic visual that I saw plastered over Instagram stories. It made me really excited for the album. A picture of the billboard also ended up being the album art, so they killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Good job. I really like the album cover, by the way.
Yes.
What are some of the notable ways bands have promoted records, tours, etc. throughout hardcore history, and why don't more bands take chances like this? It seems like 1 out of 100 bands will make an effort to stick out, while the other 99 just stick to the old press run/earned social media formula everyone else is doing. Hope to hear from you soon, Vince.
You know what?
Thank you, Vince.
That's a great question.
Always a good question asker.
Well, number one,
Not punk enough for me, Vince. I'm sorry, I won't answer.
fucking asshole. I didn't realize
Don't get it.
that was real. I thought that was like a Photoshop.
no, real.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So because I bet
They're
it costs
Canadian?
$600. Some Canadian, some American. They're right around the Niagara.
Oh,
side, so
that's such a. I didn't realize. I thought that was legitimate.
we'll
like
be
a
doing
good Photoshop deal.
We'll be doing an Axe to Grind billboard up there soon. Why not? Fuck it.
for like pennies on the dollar. We'll get it done.
$350 about.
Yeah.
On the 6th.
Here's what's up, bands. There's typically 5 of you. Let's say one of you has a drug problem or just doesn't like to work. So let's say there's 4 of you.
Right. Is this drug charge?
$1,000 still isn't that much money between 4 people. So if you can get some fun little promo thing like, a week's worth of a billboard in
Yep.
a downturned area,
Yep.
why not? Wildside
Sure.
was very smart.
Great idea.
It worked on 10 different levels.
I bet
love
they
it.
went to Triple B and said, "Hey, we're trying to do this. We also want to use this as the album art. Here's where it is. What
Yep.
do you think?" Got buy-in.
Sam got excited.
Sam thought it was
How
cool.
much does it cost to get to make a cover?
to do a cover art? It can be expensive.
Couple $100. So it's like you already.
Right.
Yeah. And
So it could have been a wash. Other creative promotion.
Yeah, I'm trying
Think
to think.
about Trail Lies did those
the
promotion
first one I
things,
thought of.
and they did it all themselves last year. Invested in themselves, and I thought that had people talking. There's been through hardcore history, there have been chances of bands having billboards in their hometown. Christensen had
Yes.
a billboard in Louisville.
yes.
Everyone thought that was weird.
Yep.
And
It kind of was. It was intentionally a stunt, though. Like, they were
Right.
stunting.
they were stunting.
Yeah.
But
How'd that work out?
Not well. Didn't really work out.
Could have gone better.
But it was a really different time.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
That was frowned upon, right?
Frowned upon. Didn't have the chance to go viral the way these things do.
Good point.
True.
They were stunting, but that self-awareness wasn't easy to read off of it. When the Wildside thing, clearly they put up a billboard that says, "Who the hell is Wildside?"
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's cool.
Everybody gets it. It's cool. Great record.
All right,
Cool thing.
correct me. I'm old.
It's not true.
Thank you. I'm young at heart. Were they a band before this?
Yeah.
They were. Because I knew
Been a
the
band for
name.
years. Yeah.
But like, I feel like this is like almost such a new energy that I didn't think they were.
Feels like a coming out party for sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
I just thought it
And
was
they're
like a
doing it
band.
the
Like,
right
you
way.
named it like Wildside because it was Wildside from, locking out from fucking 2002, and it's just
Yeah.
another band that didn't realize that or whatever.
They've been a band for a few years
Okay.
now, but haven't done much touring. But wanted to do this full length. Finally got it together.
Went out.
Did
with Fury.
that and did some shows with Fury.
And Distort.
Are doing a long Distort and doing a long West Coast thing soon
Cool.
too. Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
they're like doing it the way I think people should. And I don't know any of those guys, but they
They
put this together and now are catching a little bit of heat, and I hope people notice it. It's cool.
One thing that they did that I feel like Patrick would love. Well, Nick,
Ooh.
our Chicago representative, saw
out.
them and he said it was wild.
Mm-hmm.
In Philly, they played at the Mocha, maybe?
Yep.
And they literally played in front of a video of them playing another show. Such a good
Love it.
idea.
Yo,
band
are we
juice.
approaching an era where hardcore bands are going to be clever?
I think
I hope
people
so.
want things to be fun again. That's what I
See,
asked this on the Patreon about hardcore on the internet being not fun. So subscribe to our Patreon. There's a fucking lot of episodes up there. Check that out.
Good episode went up very recently.
Really
Yeah.
good. But I said the internet, hardcore on the internet can be pretty unfun. But I think people want it to be fun because it's fucking fun when it's fun.
Yeah, clever is good.
So okay, can I go
Please,
off?
soliloquy.
Okay. So, my beef with the Shore.
You have beef with the shore.
I got Shore
Tread
beef.
lightly.
Really?
I got shore beef.
Interesting.
I'm
There's
honorary
gonna be
and he
some
lives there.
people knocking on this door soon.
Have you met Ryan?
Can
you met AJ?
Can the Shore find their way up here? I don't even know.
They're here now.
They're
Here's
in
the point.
Brooklyn. They're probably like a mile
Yeah.
from here.
Here's the point. They like fun way too much. So I feel like the Shore, and tell me if I'm wrong. So you're probably going to say that they're who is the Shore acolytes of?
Shore.
Musically.
Floor punch.
Floor Punch, maybe.
Floor punch
But that's
because of a
like the-
regional thing. But who
Like
do you
what?
say? Underdog.
Underdog, sure.
Underdog still has fans in the
Oh,
Shore. I'm not
absolutely.
taking anything
Most
away
people-
from
no,
Underdog,
no,
by the way.
yeah,
I
of
like
course,
Underdog
of
a lot.
course.
But I'm saying the Shore is one of the places they can still play, presumably,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, sure.
Okay, so here's the thing about Underdog.
New York
Underdog
hardcore, yeah.
Underdog's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been heavy inspiration on stuff that I don't like.
Sure.
Right?
311.
Well, I was gonna say locking out stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And locking out stuff seems to now be an inspiration on the Shore again. Does that sound accurate?
The Shore coincided with a lot of that, like the way it is now. But
I'm thinking of
it's-
one Shore band that
Who?
I'm thinking of Krust.
Krust. Yeah, okay.
That set to
Yeah,
me.
I mean, they love the
that's locking out.
So, yeah.
To me, right?
Yeah, sure.
Now I like Krust more because I know him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason.
You like that shirt you got?
And I like that shirt, but
We're tie dyeing the rest.
I've been wearing it a lot.
Good.
But
Your mom have any comments on that one?
no, my mom must be blind to this shit.
Muted.
You know what I mean?
She muted
Yeah,
your
she
fucking
did.
ass.
She muted my existence.
All right.
So, what I'm saying is, locking out is about fun, and
Yes.
that's where it lost me. Right? We've talked about it.
Uh-huh.
And people that want to do fun now, I am always like, oh no, is it
See,
like,
because I think
is it
what
like locking
the
out
problem
fun?
is you're making an association with fun, meaning that that there's no seriousness there too.
Yeah, I am. I'm talking
That's
about
like the
I'm talking
wacky, like
Because that's the part. Wacky
pizza
Waka
and
loses me
raccoons
too.
on,
Yeah.
on skateboards and shit. You know what I mean?
You know what's wrong with a raccoon on
it's
skateboard?
with a
just too
pizza.
much. It's just too much.
Maybe with the pizza, it goes over the line. But
what are some other good promo things? Or do you have other?
no.
Oh,
We can go to promo.
Well,
He's beefing the Shore.
yeah, I'm
right
just
now.
beefing the Shore.
No, so you're fun.
I
you
love
don't
the
like
Shore.
fun.
You don't like fun.
No, I
You know,
don't.
and he
Murphy's
thinks.
Law?
Well, and that's what I was going to say. That I was literally just driving, and like, I like Murphy's Law, but I can't tell you the last time I put it on.
Same, but I love.
But the other day I was driving home and I was thinking about the baked not fried shirt.
Yeah.
It just says baked not fried. I'm like, that's so fucking.
You know
cool.
what kind of fun I'm into right now, though? I did listen to the Choking Victim record the other day, and I was like, oh, I like Choking Victim now.
Ska fun.
I do like ska
you know
fun.
what we're doing?
Fun. Skullapalooza.
Because we were somewhere. I think we were at a flea market the other day, and Amanda said, "Oh, do you want to check out my new ska band, Flea Market Hot Dog?" And I was like, "Oh, that can come out on the Axe to Grind Records presents." Now that's what I call ska Volume 10.
That would be and that would be the one band that does the comp, and then you never hear about them again.
Everybody's like,
perfect.
"Yo, what about Flea Market Hot Dog?
Perfect.
That track's great." No.
So anyway, point is, I
Yeah.
really like Clever. I'm not sure I'm with Fun. Does
You
that
like
make
some
sense?
You don't
fun
like
bands.
wacky,
No,
you like clever.
But,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
but
yeah.
wacky's not.
Exactly.
I don't know who likes. Some people. So I think of a band. I think Beatdown's gone wacky,
Oh, it has. You're correct.
and I think there's a lot of Beatdown
You're
that's
definitely
wacky.
correct. Yes.
And it's not as people aren't as self-aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, fun is fun until it gets too wacky.
Like, do you get big mad at like the crowd surfer that's like, hey, look, I'm on a pool float?
No.
Is that too wacky?
So you got to be careful because you're in the non-core scene, and that's a fun scene.
for
you're fucking
sure?
up.
For sure. But that's why we're okay.
Drug Church is a half fucking ass hair from raccoon on a
Yeah,
pizza
sure.
skateboard.
Absolutely correct. And so
And you fucking like it, you asshole.
Here's the thing,
You're up
though.
on stage. You're about to be wearing a fucking SpongeBob shirt. So get the fuck out of here.
here's the thing.
Only if he's under 130 pounds.
I think I'm keeping us from being fully fun. Does that seem
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Does that track? Yes, it
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys don't have wacky bass player. You know what I
No.
mean? Like
No, you need
the
wacky
Newfound
bass.
Glory
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, he's fat, but he doesn't have
and
a shirt on.
he's got his shorts down to his knees and
Yeah.
his socks up to his
Yeah.
shorts.
Yeah, because you're like, I feel like you do, like, Drug Church is you, like, under protest. You're like, I'm gonna have fun, but I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it, like.
That's somewhat
You'd
true.
rather be like
Somewhat
the
true.
fucking artsy fartsy.
We got
like,
the last self-defense album titled "The Next Drug Church Is Me Under Protest."
so yeah, but fun is tough for me, but I do like Clever.
Fun is
And-
tough for me.
Back to promo. I'm sorry.
You should
No, no.
apologize to the shore now,
I'm sorry.
We're gonna give you a list of names
because we'll
People-
keep going
Yeah.
until you get in real trouble, and we'll just call them because they're down the street.
Right.
Are they really nobody at the
No,
shore?
they're not.
Nobody
They're
at the
all
shore in
super reasonable.
2019
And
is
they looked at
unreasonable.
you and they're like, "Dude, we'd eat you alive, whatever."
pretty
You
bad.
remember we were talking about you being quiet in groups?
What when
You were pretty quiet at the shore. Yeah.
this is for people that for people that aren't following our video feed right now.
Yeah.
This is me
Which,
going.
by the way, maybe we do live YouTube.
this is
tonight.
me going off mic to go. I had my reasons.
What about when we were talking about? Oh, we can't talk about that on the air. This
Yeah.
was a different time when we were
There's a few
standing on the
things- few
corner
things we
at
can't talk
Asbury.
about on there.
In Asbury.
Yep.
And you were pretty quiet too. And your reasons weren't applicable at that time.
No, I don't know.
Anyways.
Anyway, back to the point. The
We were talking about a gangbang, but that's okay.
oh,
So,
I
yeah.
went to I went to the Y 3 days in a row. I think I'm ready for the shore.
You're ready for the gangbang? All right, good.
You went to the Y.
Join in.
So, the Y has some fucking beasts at it, though. I don't know if you've been to the Y lately. There's some fucking
The Y's
strong.
not
Not
that
in
cheap.
Schenectady.
There's some strong people at
Of
the
course.
fucking Y. There's
The Y
co-
ain't that cheap anymore, man.
that's true.
Is it?
That's
It's
true.
like $50 a month.
That's true. I've got a stolen card. Don't tell anybody.
Nice.
So the back to promo. I
Mm-hmm.
think that there's the memery is what you got to do. We've talked about if it wasn't if I can't listen
Unified Right.
Unified Right. We've talked about how
Which I think treads the line of
Incredibly
memery and
memeable.
clever.
yes, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
For example, speaking of our buddy's Krust, he took a bunch of old like Archie comic fucking just little panels and changed the text to be like shocking. I can't believe they're doing it. The Krust and like that hits and that hit Instagram stories and people were like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
You know, like just do something different. Don't tread. You know what I actually have seen 8 times now is the if you don't like blank, then dial 1-800-EAT-SHIT
Yeah.
with the 70s cartoon thing. You know, that was cool the first time someone did that a year and a half or 2 ago. And now I've seen it. And I'm not calling out anybody because Advanced Perspective just did it. I don't think they ripped it off from another band, but I've seen 3 bands do it. So I'm like, man, like y'all gotta
I like the
just look
energy, though.
around.
I do
I
like
like
the
Advanced
energy.
Perspective, so I'm good with that. But like when I see it, I'm like, yo, are you guys paying attention? And maybe they aren't. It's cool. Everything's kind of cylindered, you know?
Oh man, we did. How long ago did we do our what we think's coming next? That must have been
Been
a
a
year
minute.
ago.
Yeah. What's next? Yeah.
We should revisit that and try to, because I'd be curious what we think.
What we got right, or
Like yes, but also
I think we were pretty accurate on
also
certain things.
aesthetically what is coming next, because you're
yeah.
right. There's going to be some bands that distinguish themselves by going with something very unlike everything else.
Okay, so let's talk promo.
One thing that I thought was cool, Perfect World with the call-in number.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Thought that was a smart idea.
Really great.
I don't know if you remember back in the day, like Quicksand put out one of their promo items was a gun, a phaser gun,
Okay.
with their logo on it. Mm-hmm. That was cool
Damn.
promo, I thought. I'm trying to think of other hardcore bands.
We're not in the most forward-thinking, clever scene. In
No,
the world.
that's the part is funny, is how early adapter hardcore kids are.
Yep.
Always the first to new technology. Always the first
Yeah.
in line for a lot of this stuff.
Why is that? We're bored.
Yeah.
It's a reason that fucking Casper Mattress would want to work with us because, or really not Casper, but like fucking Jimbo's
CBD.
magic mattresses that, you know,
Yeah.
it's a younger audience looking for new stuff a little bit more, I think. And not even younger per se anymore, but just an audience who's open to new ideas.
To be honest, and this isn't me making a softball pitch we're very happy with our sponsors and not looking to go Casper, but
Yes.
I will say we have a lot of listeners who have just entered the disposable income portion of life.
That's right.
So we are kind of, in some
Like
ways.
if you want to buy a mattress, maybe you wait for us. If we get enough people, it'll be like a pre-order. If
There
we
you
get
go.
enough people that want a new
we'll make our own
mattress, we'll
mattress.
get.
There you go.
You know, I think Terror, kings of promo.
Oh, yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah. We've
you know
talked
about their
it.
record
You know
coming
what,
out
though?
3 months in advance.
They do, but I think there's
Terror and Nails
There's-
have both done a great job of naming their shit things that stick.
I mean,
so
you're not.
names.
You'll never be one of us.
Yeah.
Memed.
Yep.
Right. Name the title of your record, much like the headline of an article. So people might not know this, but most times when someone writes an article, they don't write the title of the article.
Correct.
Like a sports,
didn't know that.
yeah, they don't write the title of the article.
Editorial typically does it.
Editorial usually does it. I remember I wrote. This is cool. I wrote for a Texas music, San Antonio music magazine. Did a feature on Bitter End. It was the cover story. I was really happy with how it turned out, except the cover text was really wacky, and the title of it was less offensive, but the cover story name on the cover of the magazine was really lame, and I was like, ugh.
And you have no
Damn.
say in that.
I didn't know what it was till it was in my hand.
Wow.
Yeah. That said, the name of your record matters more for promotion than you might think. The cover art for your record matters.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be lazy. Don't necessarily ape something. If you like things, pull influence. Don't replicate. And then how you promote it, like you said about Terror, they certainly are great promoters. But I think they've had true high points more than anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like any of the records have been poorly promoted, but clearly Keepers of the Faith.
Right.
Which if you were to say artwork on the record, someone could go, "Oh, really? That's it?" Yo, it's like perfect.
Think of how many things that have ripped that off.
Yeah.
It could have been, when you look at the cover, there's more to it going on than you think. It's not just the text as it is. It looks like it's the back of a shirt. It's just perfect. It's really well done. And that starkness was what they needed in that moment for where they were, what record they were coming from. So all that shit matters. And I think it's important for bands to think about that and where they're at. I think Candy's done a really good job of promoting themselves. Their merchandise does some of it, but their album covers are really striking.
Album covers are really striking. Also, when they promote their shows, they do it in a visually distinct way. It has like a glitchy sort of rave aesthetic to it. And when they are selling the overall... So look, interesting. I'm going to interrupt myself. I really like Candy. So that means I can talk about Candy in a way that is gross.
Sure.
But I like them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, and that's what affords me the ability to.
Yes, you've taken them out on tour. Now you're ensuring they don't take you.
And I was no, but I listen to the records. I actually really like Candy. So my point is, there's Candy, the musical outfit, which I think is totally worthy and really good. And then there is Candy, the brand, the aesthetic, sales thing.
Sure.
Right? And they have done a very good job with both. But for the purposes of this conversation, let's say that the latter is the one we're talking about.
Yes.
Wicca Phase Springs Eternal, something that's in the periphery of what we address, has done an excellent job. He was on the forefront of taking that sort of Tumblr anime on VHS sort of feel and putting it to music, right? That was the thing. Candy is attempting a similar thing with a rave simulacra, right? It's not actually anybody.
Nope.
I've been to a rave, and I can say it's a rave simulacra, right?
Yes.
But that's interesting.
So that's the part to me. I'll say that 100 times. They're taking the energy from a rave and the aesthetics of it and trying to apply it to their music. And if you look at what's happening now culturally, and it has been for a long time, chopped and screwed everything. It's taking an energy or a vibe or a style from one thing that you like or is cool and applying it to another thing that you like and is cool. And it's... maybe it's not new. But if you listen to Candy musically, it's hardcore.
Certainly.
It's got some new ideas coming in here, there, and that. But you're not saying like, whoa.
But they're way dancier and aesthetic than music.
Yes.
Yes.
And they pull in that energy and apply it. And even if it's not something wholly new that you're looking at, the packaging's different.
Right.
Same way when you go to the supermarket and you pick up your almond milk and they change the packaging, even if it's subtle, you look at it strange for a second and go, wait, what's different? Oh, they just changed the reduced sugar from blue to white, whatever.
I mean, if you want to do an experiment, go buy kombucha at the store, look at the different packaging and say, which one of the... because kombucha is where I see it most distinctly, because you have kombucha that is appealing to graphic design whites. You know what I mean? You have kombucha that is appealing to...
yoga people.
Yoga
Yes,
people.
right.
Yeah, and they all sit on the same shelf, and they are all 95% the same product.
Right, but some of them are just like a couple of words. Some of them have like Dr. Bronner.
And to me, that's a really fascinating sort of brand test. Like what appeals to you.
Yeah.
But so when we're talking about promo, sorry that we dipped into album art, but they're the same thing.
It goes into it, yes.
Yeah,
and you can look at album art as more of an artistic thing.
Sure.
And it is. But if you're doing it right, it should be both.
I want to fucking straight up smash my self-defense bandmates when their preferred aesthetic, visual aesthetic, is boring. They like they would cop to that. They like reserved, boring visuals.
Okay.
And to me, I always have to say, it also needs to be picked up at a record store. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody needs to look at it, engage
You're
with
trying
it,
to
and
move
lift
the
it.
portrait shots down a section.
Do you think don't you think those portraits are pretty reserved?
I love those portrait ones.
I think they're well done,
think
but they're pretty reserved.
But I think
They are.
I think people's faces. Now, not everybody agrees. There's people that straight up hate them, but I think people's faces
Are that interesting?
are immediately engaging.
I think you can do something like we've talked about it with some of the Mark McCoy stuff that he's done with portraits. I think yours do a really good job. Most of the photography is really good.
Sometimes it's
different.
evocative, sometimes it's not as effective, but like
sometimes they feel more stark. There's different
Yep.
emotions coming from it. I also think there's something to be said with the fact that it's a thing. You're doing
Sure,
a
yeah.
thing with it.
Right.
Candy
There's
is
continuity.
doing a thing with the 7-inch, and then the LP were
Yep.
both done by the same artist.
Yep.
You can kind of catch these things.
It's danger to that, though, I think.
there is.
Absolutely.
'Cause I feel like sometimes,
You get too
do I
same.
already have this shirt?
Yep.
So
I mean,
okay, let's talk about a
certain
new
band
record
that
that
we
just
all-
came out.
yeah, I mean, I love Code Orange. I feel like they have an aesthetic, but sometimes it's like, it's just the same. I'm colorblind, so that
No.
doesn't help either.
Yeah.
But I feel like this might be the same shirt. Like, do I have this home already?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I might. I'm not 100% sure. Because it's like, it's so kind of
Yeah, and I'm
uniform, which is awesome.
I'm a big fan of their stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right. When it comes to merchandise, you got to be careful
To not have too much of a
that it's
fucking
not,
thing.
Yeah, that it's not that thought, the exact thing you said, which is so good. Do I already have that? If that hits, and it could be about a shirt, it could be about a record. If you have consumer confusion at that moment, something went wrong with the way you're doing.
I mean, think about how harried the fucking merch table is at the end of a show.
Yeah.
If you have to be like, fuck, do I have that already? You give up.
You're out. You're out immediately.
I know that we've said this a million times, but the kings of branding in hardcore obviously fucked up. And when they did, what's the record it's a classic record?
Hidden World.
Hidden World. Now, all of the fucked up material prior to that I knew of, that doesn't mean it's all that there was photography. Now,
photography, but it was all black and white,
right.
strip at the top.
Yep, and it has that strip at the top, like just like that. But Hidden World breaks that, but sticks with the strip, so you know the band.
Yep.
Right.
But they changed the formula enough to go,
correct.
Boom, here it is, full vibrant color illustration.
And it worked perfectly, and it was a deviation, and I'm sure somebody felt a way about that, but not for long. It worked.
Right.
You know?
And speaking of promo and being weird and kind of having these, didn't they put out an 8-track?
Yes,
they did way back then, yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a good example, is that some of that stuff, especially in that, came organically, but also, like, there was some intent with it and ideas and thinking, like, oh, this is neat. And even because they realized where they were at. They realized that they had put out so many singles and that they had a bit of a fanatic fan base, like, rabid fan base, collecting the singles and collecting every little scrap of whatever the fuck they were doing, that they started doing wacky stuff like that because it caused more attention to happen. Is any of this not punk to talk about? Who gives a fuck?
I mean,
when it comes down to it,
was like that.
and when it comes down to it, the part that would not be punk is if some fucking dude in a fucking suit or at a giant record label or whatever was telling you, hey, this is what we're doing to promote the album, as opposed to it coming from your own fucking brain or from the brain of the dude who's putting out your record by scraping together his hard-earned money, whatever it is. That's punk. So kind of, if you have any pullback to this, feel free to fucking email us. I think that stuff is good. I think they did a good job with that. I think in the more recent time, Candy's done a good job. I think Trail Lies did a good job.
Yeah.
I think Code Orange did a really good job. But one problem is it's just consistency with certain things. The volume on Code Orange recently has been turned down a bit, partially because they've been off cycle. I think they got a new record, whatever. But that silence can be loud. I could say the same thing for Nails, is they went silent until they had this new EP come out. And so that silence can kind of feel like, oh, where did that go? You know, people are looking for that. Where did it go?
So we've talked about this a million times. I'm not a fucked up guy, just an admirer of what they've managed to pull off.
Yeah.
But I am a Code Orange guy, and both bands, if you're a fan of them, you kind of have to be excited for the next thing, because you know that it's going to be
going to be something.
It's going to be all in on whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the new there is new Code Orange material getting recorded soon, I think, and I am whatever it's gonna have to be committal, both musically and visually, and I'm excited.
I mean, that EP was fucking awesome.
It could be and the thing is, everybody's gonna misstep sometimes, whether that's fucked up or whether that's Code Orange, whoever that is. But the missteps for me are just as
long
exciting.
as it's a full all-in.
Just as excited.
Here's a question for you. You're a fucked up guy.
Yes, I am.
So they have a logo.
Yes.
Is that logo on any record?
Yeah, but it's not like...
Not pronounced, right?
No. It's like
it's
on the center label. It's a center. It's like, or like a little one on the back, you know, like...
Right, but it's never been like the front cover of something.
Not in a, like, this is here. It might be stuck somewhere.
Sure.
But no.
Yeah.
That logo just, I mean, there's another thing. Having a logo.
I've resisted this so much.
So tough, though.
It's tough because you have to have a good one. Indecision has a good one. MPB has a good one.
I mean, you can tell what it is. But I mean, they're just letters. But like to have like...
You know what, though? Here's the trick. If you took the Indecision logo and just made it all solid so you couldn't read letters, you could just see the outline,
You would know what
Most
it was.
people could tell what that is.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
a really good. The Bold logo, same deal.
True.
Think about that. Gorilla Biscuits, the GB. You would be able to know what that is.
Fair. That's fair.
Those are really important visual cues. You know
I
what I
never
mean?
thought about it. Indecision 1 is rather strong, actually.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
and
like,
Most Precious Blood 2, which follows the similar formula.
yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
which I think that consistency from 2, from the one to the next, was this really good. Like clearly, people who knew already knew, but at that time there was no everyone plugged in internet device like we are now.
Sure.
That everyone instantly would have known. There was people who were buying a Most Precious Blood record or looking at it who maybe didn't know, oh, these are all the people from Indecision.
Right,
you know?
sure.
So but I think that visual cue
was just enough.
was just enough. And it's
Yeah.
and then once
Not
they
overt.
got it, it's
Yeah.
like cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that stuff is really important. If you want to think about logos, we're looking at a thing on your TV right now. The Coxpower logo, if we drop the letters from that, you still know what that logo is.
Yeah.
Does anyone know why the S and the P are always capitalized?
No.
I never thought about
know,
that.
but it's very visually striking. Like if you change that, it wouldn't look
Right,
right.
and you know what-
Same way the K is a little off there. You know.
Right, and like you think about that, I was watching these because I need to see Coxbar again soon.
Oh, nice.
Do you remember they did that show? I mean, I don't know when they're playing again, but I'd like to see them again. They did a show in maybe Worcester. And it was them, American Nightmare,
Yes.
and AF.
Yeah, it was.
But 3 of the more like kind of famous logos.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
on top, and they made like shirts and posters with it, and there's like the boots, the angel, and the fucking
Coxbar.
yeah.
wings,
It's like so fucking iconic.
So talking about promo, there's tons of it. Hardcore's never not been about promo. Making your own flyers, making your own stickers, even making fanzines. People were doing that to promote their local scene.
Yeah.
So like,
and often
to
by
me,
extensions,
when it
their
comes
specific band.
often it'll be like, hey, I did the scene to promote my band.
Yep.
I see
Didn't
nothing
Culture
wrong
Abuse
with
do
that.
that?
They
Wasn't
should
Culture
have.
Abuse a fanzine first or something?
Youth of Today did
Not first, but
a tour fanzine in like 1988, and bands were doing it before that. Title Fight did a bunch when they were going on tours, big tours, and doing these.
Right.
I just think it's a cool thing. I don't think people should be ashamed about promotion. I think they should be into it, and just how you're doing it is really cool. There's a
You want
lot of
people to
ways
hear
to
your
do it. Yeah,
there's no harm in
right,
it. There's
you know?
nothing like
And that's part of what gets into the whole, like, you don't shame people coming into things or how they get into it. Man, give them an opportunity to get into cooler stuff right from the jump. Tell them, show them what you're about. Self-defense, you kind of have a logo now, right?
I mean,
The stylized text thing.
yeah, we've
sorta.
been using the same text for a long time.
Yeah.
But so when we first went over to the name Self Defense Family,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say there was any pressure, but there was some thought at that time that logos. I mean, logos do matter. There's no
as
debate.
we just talked about.
But my favorite bands, particularly at that time, did not have them, and like
Such as.
bands like Lungfish, who didn't
they
didn't bring merch to their shows. You know
No,
what I mean?
but they didn't. But, you know, like Lungfish is a good example. Fugazi is a good example. No merch, no logo, but they used similar word markings.
Yep.
They were instantly remembered, and I think that's something that you could say self-defense has done.
I just was resistant to it because of some of the acts at the time that I was turned off by.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Including Fucked Up, actually.
Right,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Because Fucked Up at that time felt like such a work to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
That's like the peak of their popularity.
yeah, it felt like a work. Like for people that don't, you know.
At some point we'll do a full fucked up decompress that maybe will just be like an opt-in episode, because I think for a lot of people who are younger than us, the level that we talk about them is a lot.
It's weird. If
Some people are
if
down
you're
for
20,
it.
you don't got a fucking clue.
No, but they were a really big deal.
I mean, I don't know that much about
Yeah.
it.
Think about if you're 20 and we actually tried to sum up Cold World. There'd be no getting it. You know what I mean?
I don't know that.
There'd be
though.
no
I feel like
getting
there's a more crossover to that.
I
There's
have
more crossover to it, maybe. I think
It's like, yo, it's
musically,
it's a moshy hardcore band that uses rap lyrics for their own lyrics. Like, I'm in. It's like,
You know
it's,
what?
You know,
You're right.
It could have not worked at the time.
no, or it could turn into fucking Old Town Road. But those dudes use like fucking real rap lyrics and shit. Like,
It was a dice roll.
and
at the
it's
time.
interesting.
It was a
to
very
talk
big
about,
dice roll.
and it's interesting to talk about where they came from, because I think people now like would associate them with more moshy or like what they were doing,
Yeah.
but they weren't. This was a very decidedly posy numbers band.
Yep.
Yep.
coming from youth crew, straight edge, hardcore band guys, not like dudes who were like in heavier or metalcore bands or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to talk about them. You're right. Their music makes more sense to somebody now. And to say, like, this is why people like it, go watch a Cold World video, you can see it. You know what? If somebody watched a fucked up video from one of their peak eras, you might go, oh, shit, people are going crazy. Like,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
But it is hard to explain the evolution curve of some of this shit. It would be hard.
But you follow me on how when something feels like a work, you're either in or you're out. You know what I mean? Like you either buy
it or you don't.
Yeah, you either buy it or you don't. And so at that time I was like, and you know, I was burnt on bands like AN and like I just, for me the logo was just,
like, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't need a logo. But really, if one was this late in my career, like thinking about it like that, if there was something that was really attractive to me, I'd fucking maybe, you know.
So we're doing this. We're getting the self-defense fucked up tour at some point. Is that what
Yeah,
I'm hearing?
it's the aging people with too many guitars tour. That's what that's what it is.
Who's got more guitar players?
They do.
They get 3
On stage, can you do 3 on stage all shows?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to get 2 drummers just to try to like be like hold that?
We've played shows with 2 drummers, and I love it. It's so impractical I can't even explain.
Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah,
But
it's such a pain.
but I love it. I think it's one of my favorite sounds. I love it.
So let's go back to the question real quick. What would we refine promo? What's cool? We gave a bunch of different examples of things. We could really go way further than this. My big thing is how you use social media as a band. Don't be boring, right?
Can we talk about the thing that happened without putting anybody on blast?
I don't think so.
Well, dance around it, and if I think we can. Yeah.
There was some very good promo for a band very recently by the fact that they were soft canceled and criticized in a image that backfired
Against the person who posted it.
Yes. And
a lot of people were very torn up. I don't think we need to dance around it. We can go
I don't
right
even
to
know.
it.
Like, good. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay.
I must be on liberal Twitter because I don't know any of the shit.
This is Wildside.
So Wildside, Wildside got excellent promo recently.
Sure.
From the photographer's name is Kate Freese, Frese.
Okay.
I think she's a very talented photographer.
Absolutely.
From
I know
Philly
her
area.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know her personally. We don't know her
I've
at
never
all.
seen her stuff. Yeah. It's very well done.
So so I don't know her work, but
Let's
whatever.
explain it plainly so we can get there.
So okay. So you said the woman's name's Kate?
Kate.
Okay, so Kate went to a Wildside show, took photographs, and took exception to something that they said. Now,
Singer said something about how easy it was for them to cross the border from
Correct.
Canada into the United States.
And she thought that was in poor taste because at this I mean, we don't need to explain why it's
Hopefully
in
you
poor taste.
understand the issues that are happening at the border.
Yes,
in,
and it's up to
Mexico.
you. You know, this is me attempting to see all sides, but it's up to you if you're capable of taking a joke or not. And Kate didn't like this joke and wasn't capable of taking this joke. So she...
I don't know if it's capable.
I mean...
Willingness.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't...
I feel like capable is different.
I don't know. To me, I'm in such a different place than Kate that I can't even say. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can't say in front of me. So I'm in a different place.
Free Will by Rush plays gently in my head.
Yeah. So Kate took exception to it.
Yes.
So...
she put the photo she took, which was actually looked great, superimposed over a photo of the fence at the southern border, I believe.
And her point, which was illustrated by the photoshopping, was, yeah, it's easy for you. You're like a white guy without a criminal record. Yes, you can walk into any border in the Western world. And
yes,
she's not wrong. No. So but the image was funny. There's no debate.
Yeah,
I think she understood it was funny, but she was trying to make a point. And
I guarantee at least one member of the band had to see that and laugh.
Sure. Oh,
I hope they all did. I'm sure they did. Yeah.
But I've been in the crosshairs of a lot of cancelizations, and I know that in the moment you're like, oh God, what's this going to turn into? You know what I mean? Like, so you don't know how things are going to roll, and maybe they were stressed out about it for a second, or maybe they all laughed. But the point was that whether or not you agree with Kate, or you think it wasn't a big deal, or whatever, it was excellent promo because
got people talking.
It wasn't this band did something heinous. It was, here's a thing that they said that I don't agree with. Here's a visual image, And then people, because it wasn't heinous, people could draw their own conclusions about how they felt. And it was just more Wildside for your dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it was just like that was an example. So here's an example of bad or the untrue statement that all press is good press. I don't know. I heard that guy's a sexual fucking assaulter, deviant guy. Bad press. Bad press. You know what's good press is, I don't know. I heard he said something controversial. Oh, I'm going to look that up. You know what I mean? Because people...
You're not Googling a fucking pedophile.
Right. But people want to know for themselves. If it's not something that they immediately need to dismiss because it's terrible, they want to know the details. And they will draw their own conclusions once they Google it. That's why, if I'm going to editorialize, that's why those of you that spend your time trying to cancel people for minor things need to chill on that, because it always backfires on you. It will never work.
You said small things. Let's talk about this.
All the...
Totally with... Yo, there's some heinous motherfucker out there. Put your feelings out. Be honest. Be loud. Do it. With it. Let's stop canceling fucking everything. You're taking away the power of that voice. You want to speak out on that? Fucking speak out. You know what? The people who took offense to you saying the thing about the weight at the drug church shows, Weightgate. I know you. I know your spirit. I know you were trying to be a good person. I take nothing away from those people being able to go and say, hey, I thought that was shitty. I do appreciate that they talked to you about it. I think that was the right way to go about it. I think it caused you probably a lot of headaches.
I mean, look.
Probably not that bad, but whatever. But regardless, I don't take that power away from you. I don't think they tried to cancel you from that.
Well, okay, so here's the problem. The people that immediately took issue with that particular thing, I don't think we're trying to, quote-unquote, cancel me at all. However, there's always a wingnut in any conversation. And
so maybe the point is, let's keep these things away from the wingnuts.
Yeah, well,
and feel free. I think expression of ideas, like, yo, that conversation, the Wildside guy saying that about, it was really easy for us to get across the border. I don't see what the big deal is. One, maybe he was being flip and funny. Kind of funny.
The way you just delivered it, I would have giggled like a motherfucker.
Right. Like if the three of us walked in the room and said, hey, we had no problems walking in this bar. Weird. But it could also spark a really interesting conversation about this in perspective. And to be honest, the differences that we treat our two borders with. And I think that presents a lot more commentary and nuance and generates people thinking about that. I think the idea of going, hey, we have two direct borders and they seem like we treat them very differently. And one we talk about a lot and are building a wall, and the other we are not. And that is a little bit interesting when you think about the demographic differences.
Right, but I think that the problem is that I'm sure there's somebody in hardcore, but very few people in hardcore that you wouldn't be preaching to the converted on that particular topic.
You would hope, but regardless, those are conversations. If we want to get loud as a community, I'd like to see us get loud on things that are a little more
that have actual
salient.
Sure,
yes.
Yeah. I mean,
some MAGA hardcore dudes.
Yeah,
yes,
there are. But
they're in Jersey.
But from your
City.
lips to God's ear on the hopefully people start talking about important things rather than whatever. But you tell me, and we're not trying to. I'm particularly not trying to put Kate on blast for this reason.
No, shout out. Please check out her photography. I think she's really good.
Well, let me say. Well, I would cop to that if I knew it, but I don't know if
she also takes photos for the NHL.
Okay,
so.
That's awesome.
So here's the thing.
Mostly of the Flyers, but we won't hold that against you. Yeah.
I read her post, and I did not take it in the spirit of I want these motherfuckers canceled.
Right.
So that's why I'm able to talk about this without any animosity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
now she came at this spikes out.
If you came at a gaffe or a casual fucking flippant comment and with the intent to cancel, I would be approaching this with a very different fucking attitude. You know what I mean?
You know what I want to say?
That's not what I took from it, though.
I agree. I didn't take that either. And I want to say, if you've talked to Canadians, and I'll go blanket statement, let me say, most hardcore kid Canadians that I know, they're really funny.
Sure.
They have a funny outlook on things and say very silly things. So
sure.
Shout out. Not to say that they can't say something ignorant or couldn't say something
they
malicious,
cheered Kevin Durant getting hurt.
Yeah, that's low class.
So fuck them.
That's low class.
I'm giving T.O. a break on that. You
Wait.
still got to make up for Drake.
We
though.
haven't talked about this. Did you guys have a feeling on that?
Oh,
I was so mad.
wait. What about them booing?
No.
About the injury? Yeah, I did.
No. I'm sorry about the series, about the championship.
It's a big shift for the NBA. Ooh, I knocked
What'd you
your
just
thing.
do? Jesus.
Just the thing fell. I hope it's okay.
I think it'll be all right.
It's a big shift in the NBA for many reasons. The injuries to Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson mean that people will be playing differently.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see most star players play around 70 games from here out.
Mm.
The workload. What is it called?
Load management.
Load
Yeah.
management.
I think that
I've been working on that for a while.
it radically changed the offseason. The Knicks are fucked.
Sorry.
Oh, are they?
Because the Knicks were
fucked.
going to get Kevin Durant
Yes.
for all intents and purposes.
Theoretically, they still might. From what I'm hearing, is they still might via trade and sign and trade.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Weird, right?
Or give them 4 years and know that the first year is going to be nothing.
Exactly right. But this maybe they can do the 5-year because they'll do a sign and trade. The Kawhi Leonard winning with the Raptors is also going to make teams more eager to do kind of the risky rental where
Which he was.
Yeah.
He got
yeah.
traded for a year.
So to me, that's interesting and fun. But
Sure is.
but when I asked my father, he was treating this like it was a crime against humanity.
Okay, so older folks, more traditional, they want Jeter on the Yankees from day one to the last.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think the majority of the fan base in Toronto, especially like a Raptors fan, they were just like, he got us a championship.
That dude could leave tomorrow.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He'll still
We
get
love him.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get that with different fan bases. Lakers didn't want Kobe to leave. Mavericks didn't want Dirk to leave. Everybody wants their star to stay with them for as long as they can. But guess what? Kawhi wasn't drafted by the Raptors. He got traded there. He
13.
played one season. He came, he saw, he conquered. Boom. That's it. Yeah, he was picked 13. Crazy. And now he's a free agent. When people get kind of weird and kind of provincial about player movement, people leaving, my comment is, they fought for those rights as a union.
Yeah, no, they did.
And
but as a fan, you do
pure
like
fan-
it when
Pure fan, you know what? You just got to prove it. I mean, Toronto made a strong argument. Team around him helped win that championship. And 2 million people showed up to the parade.
I know, but
You can't...
But when you compared it to Jeter, what class was that? What was the Jeter Posada?
Core 4.
Bernie Williams.
The core 4.
So
Yeah.
you do want to see those men die with that uniform on.
Of course,
You know what I
no.
mean?
As a fan,
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. If you have a team, you want to see the players, and you get attached. In basketball, it's interesting because you get like the Boston Celtics just had Kyrie Irving for 2 years, and first year everything went great. We got to resign this guy. We got to keep him here. He's going to be a Celtic forever. We're going to put his number in the rafters. Last year went down the toilet.
Yeah.
They can't wait to get that
And
motherfucker
they're
out
driving him to the airport.
Yeah.
They're all like, get this fucker out. So loyalty's out. So the Warriors, everybody who low rates it, they were I've been watching basketball in a I can remember it way since 1987. And they were as entertaining as the 90s Bulls.
I think
I think
that's
Yes.
largely why my father thought it was a travesty.
It's
Because,
just crazy to think that two of the that's like Jordan and Pippen both getting their fucking
Yes.
legs blown out.
Yes.
It's like, how did that even happen?
How did that happen?
And you want fucking John Paxson to win it for you.
Yeah.
It's like it was just like there's
It
no
was
way
really
could
tough
have-
because
yeah.
as I've gotten older, and basketball's great with this, but other sports you can. Baseball, you can do it a little bit. Basketball's the most clear one. You can watch and appreciate greatness.
I want to give you a weird perspective.
Let's go.
I asked my father, so who is everybody?
Shout out. Can I go visit him and we'll just talk hoops for
Absolutely.
a few hours? All right,
Oh God,
let's do
he'd
that.
love it. I said,
I'm into that.
I said, did your classmates enjoy like the finals? Was it at the? And he said, yeah, they were all celebrating when.
Did they get to watch?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But here's the
What
thing.
do I got to do? I'm in.
I said, who's their team? He said, oh, they're all against Curry. And I said, why? And
Really?
He's a soft boy.
He's soft.
it's not just that. My dad, who is
I love Curry,
Tom,
by
he's
the way.
whiter than you. I'm looking
Yeah.
at your legs
Why
right
are
now.
you-
He's whiter than you.
This
And
dude acting like he's fucking from the Mediterranean.
I'm Italian now. But here's the
Mamma
deal.
mia.
Here's the deal.
Faccia bruta.
So my father is in the center of a colorism conversation.
Oh,
that
yeah.
he doesn't want
You can't
shit
handle
to
it,
do.
no.
He doesn't want
Yo.
shit to do.
You
with
don't want
that.
any of that smoke.
Yo, you want that is a real conversation.
Do they
in
hate
the
him 'cause he's
NBA.
light-skinned?
Yes.
Yes.
And he's got green eyes or whatever?
Yes.
I didn't even know he had green eyes, but they
in
hate
the
him.
NBA, it's a conversation.
That's interesting.
It's wild. It's really interesting.
Wow.
It's
But they like
as
Clay?
No, I'm trying to. My father tells me who's everybody. Not when I say everybody in there, it's whatever. It's a broad statement, but like,
Yeah.
there's people that are.
the 20 people he interacts with.
Yes, the people that he watches basketball with, which is probably.
It's got to be. Yo, I want to just go hang out and watch basketball. That's got to be a fun time with that group.
Well, I want you to think about being a 77-year-old white guy who loves fundamentals.
So you're automatically...
Oh my god! So for
He
him,
really liked when they went.
He's
When the
palming the
Raptors
ball.
went to when the Raptors went to box and won.
so for him,
I was into that.
it's torture.
He's fucking carrying the ball.
For him, it's torture.
Look at that. That was 3 steps. He
I
moved
think
his pivot.
I think while he's incarcerated, he much prefers college ball because
It's still kind of...
Sure.
because the conversations to him are more reasonable. I think you know what I mean.
He
Like,
actually, no exaggeration, would probably love the WNBA.
he probably
sure.
would.
A lot
I'm
more,
certain,
like-
I'm certain he watches it. I'm
Okay,
certain if it's available to him, he watches it.
No, just because it's not just freakish ability. It's
Yeah.
actual, like...
Yeah, fundamental play.
Yeah,
sure.
and it's-
No,
and
there's some
plans
really, really good teams too.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's not
WNBA
like
is fun.
these dudes.
You're running plays.
You're fucking 7 feet tall, and you're running point, and you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you're a freak.
Yeah.
But like it's like you're like 5'7".
Yeah.
And there's like
Execution of the play.
Yeah,
is
so
everything.
it's
Solid
kinda nice.
movement.
Yeah.
Ball. Yeah, it's really nice. So
Uh,
yes, that's our basketball moment.
But I never thought about the fact that there would be people. Now, for people at home, when I said Tom is really white, he's a half a shade whiter than I am.
Yes.
I'm very white. So when
I'm somewhere in between that half a
Sorry, I
shade.
don't live at a beach.
Holy shit! Yeah.
So-
or I don't get to walk around outside all day because I'm at my fucking job.
but my point is, just like my father, I don't get. There's not much space for me in the colorism conversation.
That's right.
But I do find it utterly fascinating.
I watch Oz. I see how that shit goes.
that anybody could be against fucking.
Curry, just
Curry.
because like
He's inarguably the best shooter I've ever seen.
That's what I'm saying.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
One of my favorite players to ever watch ever.
100%. 100%.
But
Clay's
the fact
bad,
that
too.
the fact that you could kind of
I love Clay.
you could kind
Claytheism.
of low key root against him, not because now if you don't like Curry because like
You don't like his attitude.
yeah
you
he
don't
could
like
be,
his,
he could be
Too
he could
many
be-
turnovers.
He could also he can become a crybaby. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so if that's
Less so.
chewing on his fucking mouthpiece. Like we get it.
if that's a thing
Yeah.
that you don't like, then I get it.
Sure.
But it is really crazy to me
Are they down for like Draymond?
that you'd be. Yes, they are. Of
course.
And Kawhi, because
Probably
Kawhi's dad was an
Kawhi.
OG.
Yeah,
Dude, did you see the clips of Kawhi at the parade doing the laugh? So Kawhi Leonard at the beginning, do you see he's a very weird human. And I heard a thing today
I love that,
who
it's so
everybody's
weird.
like, so Kawhi Leonard's a free agent, might be going somewhere. And every NBA insider's like, no one knows. They're like, everyone has circles. Everybody has circles, and those circles leak.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the dad, maybe it's the fucking
He's got no circle.
agent's assistant.
He's such a
He
fucking
has
weirdo.
no circle. People are like, well, it's his uncle. And they're like, his uncle's his business manager. His uncle doesn't know what he wants to do. He
Yeah.
doesn't know what he wants for lunch.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Durant was like leaked beforehand. That they're
Yeah.
like, here's the deal. He's going to come to New York.
this
Kyrie
guy's
Irving's coming
coming,
with
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They're going to trade for Anthony Davis, like all this stuff. And then it's
Fine.
like,
So
and
it
it all
fell
went to
apart.
shit.
So Kawhi, everybody's like, nobody knows. So before the season, he laughs and they're like, it's like, he sounds like a weird, like broken Fisher Price toy. And then
Disturbing.
at the fucking championship parade, he closes the whole thing off by going, ha, ha, and the entire place fucking lost it.
I love that
'Cause
he's
he
a
can laugh.
freak.
He's great.
Yo,
Fucking fantastic.
Shout
Shout
out
out Kawhi.
Shout out to Toronto. I'm
Shout
happy
out to
for you.
Toronto. Yeah, we all happy.
I mean, they haven't had a major championship since the fucking Joe Carter hit that walk-off in 1993.
The 93,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And that was the last time I think the Leafs were in the...
Yeah, they hadn't
No,
won anything in a while.
Yo, I think, when did the Canadiens win in 93?
I don't know enough about
Yeah, anyways, it's been a long time for Canada. So shout out. Let's get to another question.
Blame
Sure.
Canada.
Dave asks, our Dave, rather than the typical,
Our Dave.
what show would you go to? Let's mess with history. 1. Would you stop Roger, AF, from the drug delivery that sent him to jail? What would their legacy be? Would Madball be a thing? So this is probably documented very well in Roger's book, so we can talk about it.
I think, well, for him, any interaction I've ever had with Roger is super sweet, and he's a really great guy. So I would want him to not have to go to prison.
Sure.
But he doesn't go to prison. One Voice doesn't happen.
True.
One Voice doesn't happen. Madball doesn't exist. Over the Edge, all that stuff, like all those songs are so like the prototype for what Madball became. Like there's songs on that record, and that became like Madball's fucking
DNA.
Yeah.
I wrote off One Voice for a long time, and it's still not my favorite AF record, but I revisited it, and it's pretty good. You know
what? If we do a watch along at some point, maybe later.
Yeah.
You ever watch the AF Riot at the Palladium?
No.
It's fucking scary.
I'll watch that.
Yeah,
I'd like
fun.
So would
it's on
you
the tube.
stop Roger from the drug delivery?
Same boat as Tom in the respect that obviously I take incarceration seriously. I
Yeah.
don't wish it on anybody. That said, if that man is happy today, then his path has been very interesting, and
True.
that is part of it. You know what I mean? So what you've done since your time in prison, he's done exceptional things.
And who am I to tell Roger what to do? He's going to drop off. Let me just be practical.
Yeah, that's
me
a
and
good
Roger are friends in
He's not
1980,
listening
whatever.
to me.
I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I'm going to drop off these drugs.
All right,
I'm
man.
like, nah, man, let's go get a sub instead. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if it would go that way. I'd probably, I'd say, Roger,
If AF
you're your own man.
If he did not go to jail, AF would continue to as a band. It would have been really interesting to see their trajectory, what they did. Would Madball be a thing? Probably not in the same way. Probably would have been a little different. All right, 2. Would you give Glenn Danzig the extra cash to release Static Age in 1978? How would that have changed their legacy? So for those who don't know, the Misfits recorded Static Age in 78, didn't release it because they just didn't have the money. So he's saying...
Right. Did that come out with that box set? Is that the first time it got released?
Yeah.
When they did that, like...
Yeah, with that, or like around that
coffin
time. It
case or
came
whatever
out,
the fuck?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It came out in the 90s, I believe.
Right.
So would you, in 1978, or if you had a time machine, go back and give him the money to release the record?
I'll tell you what. What I would probably do is I would contact my cousin Jerry, who runs a landscaping business.
Yes.
And I'd say, Jerry, could you hire Danzig so that the Misfits don't happen, and hopefully make that the case.
Did you see the whole the legal thing? I think we sent it in the group chat.
Yes. Pat didn't read that.
I did not read it.
It was crazy. It basically boiled it down and said the Misfits reunions have happened because Jerry Only and Glenn Danzig were embroiled in a legal feud over merchandise stuff, that Glenn had initiated it, that as proceedings continued on, Jerry was winning in a landslide, and that the reunions were a make good, like, hey, we can
Almost a
continue.
settlement. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will win, and you will be fucked, and you will be really hurt.
Or let's do this thing where
Or
we all
let's
make
do
a little
this,
bit of
and we
money.
can all make a boatload of money, including the publicly released numbers from Vegas and California that were well into the million.
So,
You know what bothers me, though? That they're treating Doyle like a fucking hired gun.
Like a little brother.
That, like, you
yeah,
know, man.
Yeah, he's been around.
Like, they were splitting it like 50. Like, Danzig and Jerry get like 50-50, and like, or it can't be 50, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right.
48-48, whatever the
High
fuck.
numbers.
And like, Dave Lombardo, fucking.
The two
Doyle.
other people actually playing instruments on
Like
the side
AC
of stage.
Slade, like the guy, like
Yeah.
when I went to go see them, like I'm like, oh, you're holding this down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Doyle's punching himself in the dick while you play the songs, and singing backups and all this stuff.
Yep.
But like in the shadows, like
Yep.
when you have like the third guitar player that really holds it down, but it's
Yep.
like he's back behind the drum riser or back near the drum riser. That's what they do with this guy. But he literally like made them listenable.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to them for not using backing tracks. You know what I mean? That
God, that would have been really embarrassing. Would you have given them the money to do Static
No, I
Age?
think it's a cool story.
I agree.
That was like a lost record. I
If
think that's
they
kinda
had
cool.
released it, how would it have changed their legacy? It would have. I think it would have changed their trajectory pretty right off the bat. And then I don't know what that means for the records that come out. Maybe Walk Among Us isn't as big a deal. Maybe some of the singles don't come out the way they do. Yeah, I don't know.
But-
I think it's different.
But my cousin Jerry has that mower that you stand on and runs really fast.
Imagine Danzig standing on the mower.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
that
of course.
cool ass fucking mower.
Yeah, they're great. They're self-propelling kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. Ever used one?
No, but I would while
You're gonna be upstate for a few months. Why not?
I was just thinking I might be Danzig. I might call Jerry and say, hey,
How's the landscaping business? Pretty good.
he does good. I mean, he enjoys his life.
Working outside's not too bad sometimes.
It was released in 1996.
Yeah.
February 27, 1996, box set release. July 15th, 1997, official standalone release. You know who was
Have the
their
track
attorney?
list?
Yeah,
Who's their attorney?
Lyle Preslar.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so, well, maybe not now, but back then
Yeah,
when they
yeah,
negotiated that. Track listing. Are we ready?
Yes.
Static age. This
Yep.
means nothing to you.
Not
You
a
hate
thing.
them.
Not a thing.
TV
I'm thinking about
Casualty,
riding a
great.
mower.
Some kind of hate. Last
Great,
Caress.
Great.
Return to the Fly.
Great.
Hybrid Moments. One of the
Great,
best punk
yeah.
songs ever. We Are 138.
Great.
Teenagers from Mars.
Yeah. Oh.
Come Back. Angel Fuck. Hollywood
love
Babylon.
Angel Fuck.
Attitude. Bullet. Theme
Yep.
for a Jackal. She.
Yep.
Spinal Remains. And then The Doorway. That's a
Good God.
Yeah.
So, when's the first time you heard the Misfits?
Oh, I mean, that was like you had to listen to.
Was it early?
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
It
so
was.
but you just didn't click.
No, it was like whoa music for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
But you don't like. Do you like Pennywise?
I do not like Pennywise.
I hate Pennywise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be totally square
Oh,
and
God.
say that I've only heard Brohim in my
Yeah.
entire life.
Oh no! That's
Someone if you
What's Brohim?
You didn't live in California long enough, apparently.
No.
I got punished with it because I was in your boat at one point, and was like, "Yeah, I've heard Brohim, I'm good." And they're like, "No, man,
Do me the whoa.
You gotta
What's
hear
the
it.
whoa?
Whoa, you know what I mean? Like I can't do.
No, that's not.
you
what it
mean the
is at all.
Brohim whoa?"
No, I don't know that well.
What's the? Because as I think of amoeba as soon as I think of the bro.
Whoa.
That's amoeba, right?
Whoa,
I guess. Yeah, it's pretty close.
that's my whoa. Whoa,
whoa.
So
All right.
whoa. So here's the
That's
thing.
pretty good.
I make exceptions for certain woes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And actually, Pennywise, I would be interested in visiting the catalog because,
You can do that on your own time.
well, here's my point. Here's my point. These bands that don't mean shit to me, but have carved out such a fucking
Lane.
niche.
Yeah, they
like-
did something.
Yeah, like,
It's easy to carve a
interesting.
lane when your socks are pulled up that high, man.
Yo, the
Dude,
fact-
they've created the dress code for
I
every
know.
fucking
That's
West
what-
Coast bro.
That's what I'm
What's
saying.
the spot? Is it? It's well, there's a
Hermosa,
There's a chain. It's only in California.
not Hurley.
No, it's but they sell those like Pennywise clothes.
Oh, I don't doubt
What's
it.
it called?
Yeah,
Shit.
like- Shorts.
The shorts with the white striped socks pulled right up to them.
Oakleys.
Vans and Oakleys. Oh,
DC hat.
chain wallet.
So
Complete the look.
can I finish this out on an email that I got?
Okay, let's
Are we
go.
finishing this off?
Well,
Let me finish this
we're
one
like an
real
hour and a
quick,
half
and then
in.
we'll go in.
All right.
Then we'll do that. Would you get the Cro-Mags a tour manager who was honest, so they would have kept touring and functioning with the 86, 87 lineup?
That's what we're putting it on. We're putting it
I'm
on
not putting it on the
exclusively
tour
on that.
manager.
Is that
Yeah.
what's going on?
I would get them an honest tour manager. Maybe I would have given them a couple more bucks to waste at the time. They were bound to fail.
Yes, they were bound to kill each other.
Yeah.
It would have ended in like a murder suicide if they were able to keep their business stuff together.
Right.
Yeah.
This is Ben from Cleveland.
Hello, Ben from Cleveland.
Ben, what's up?
Cleveland rocks.
It's him. So he saw me talking about the dwarves, or maybe I talked about the dwarves on here,
Yes.
right?
Both.
And I've been doing a dwarves deep dive.
Are we doing a dwarves question right now?
Not a question. It's just a fun story. So I saw the Dwarves Ed Hall Flipper Show in Cleveland, 1993.
Wow.
Having missed Gigi Allen the
Wow.
previous summer, I wanted to see this show. A bunch of friends chickened out, and I ended up going with two blonde girls from college, having promised an entertaining evening.
Did you say two blind girls?
Blonde.
Blonde.
Oh,
Blonde.
it's like two blind girls. Amazing.
Might have been, yeah. The Dwarves had faked He Who Cannot Be Named's death a week before. Do you guys know that story?
No.
So they were a Sub Pop band, and they were dropped from Sub Pop because, as a promo stunt, back to promos, they faked
The singer's death?
No.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, their lineup is funny because he is an iconic portion of that band, but they don't always play with him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
weird.
Yeah, it's very
Did
interesting.
Sub Pop drop them because he died?
Because they weren't in on the gag. And they...
Were they like sore losers, or they were like...
No. So the band said, send your well wishes to here or whatever, and Sub Pop ran with that, acting as though he really had been stabbed to death in Philadelphia, and so they didn't tell their label that this was
Nobody wants to look like
A
Bobo
hoax.
the Fool.
right. So it was embarrassing for them, and they dropped them. And then after, I want to say Blood, Guts, and Pussy. And then, they dropped them after Sugar Fix, pardon me. Point is, they then went on and did a couple more good records, whatever. Point is, let's
Were they
get
on
back.
like Go-Kart or something?
Let's get back to his story.
Maybe eventually.
They were on Epitaph. They
They were
were,
big on Epitaph for a while.
yeah. Okay, so here's more of that story. Ed Hall was boring. I dragged people to see this thing, and I was starting to get nervous, but the Dwarf did not disappoint. He Who Cannot Be Named came out naked and played an intense set. Blag grabbed stage divers and kicked them in the head. Let's see. A girl was on stage, and he full-on clocked her in the jaw. We had been standing close and didn't want to get punched or too close to He Who Cannot Be Named's penis. At this
True.
point, the bouncers
life
tried
goal.
to take the mic away from Blag. During their last song, He Who Cannot Be Named swung his bass at the crowd. He knocked a kid out cold and took out a few teeth.
Christ.
The set ended with silence and somebody just saying, "John needs to go to the hospital." So I spoke with Blag afterwards, and he drank a mixed drink. This is my favorite part of this story, and to me, the part that stands out. Every bit of ice, he just spit at a random person walking by. Now, when I get on stage, I feel away and I can behave away. I'm full of myself. I feel confident and in control of the situation and challenging and whatever.
Yeah.
But when I am just sitting someplace having a Shirley Temple, my antisocial behavior does not extend
To spitting next to people.
to spitting on strangers.
Is he a big dude?
No. I mean, he's tall-ish, but
But not like intimidating.
not at all. The only thing that's intimidating about him is that he looks like he's not
Doesn't
terribly
give
invested in his career.
Right, he doesn't really give a fuck.
Right.
So like, yeah.
Right. But he's like a somewhat tall dude with bad posture. But like he, but anyway. So after that, Flipper played,
With Moby.
and and let's see, there's an ugly thing that happened, and then
Moby.
and then he said a lot of the people in the Flipper and the crowd are dead from heroin now, which is totally tracks with
Flipper fan.
Flipper fan in Cleveland in 1993.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely makes sense. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the spitting ice at total strangers part.
You gonna start doing that?
It's going to take a lot more trips to the Y before I feel comfortable getting my ass beat like that. Like I at least
into it.
I at least got to be able to put up a fight.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Ice spitting is grounds for getting punched in the
kidding?
face.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very confrontational move.
Yes.
All right, we done? We
Yeah.
can wrap it?
I mean,
All
we're an
right.
hour and a half in. I think that
We gave the people some long
we
ones last time.
provided
They
the-
felt good.
Oh, did we? How long did we go before?
2.5.
2.5.
What?
Yeah, people were loving. I mean,
Most
you
of
know
it was
the
a 2.5.
deal. People
Come
love
on,
it.
man.
Was
It's
that
all good.
Was that one I was on, or was that with
You
the
were on. No, you were on.
2.5 we went?
Yeah,
Easily.
dude. You know this.
We
The
had-
last like 3 or 4 have been
Long
Two-
boys.
2.5.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
big
So we can
boys.
go. Let's go
Really?
easy on this one.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
Yeah,
you, everybody.
thank
We answered 3 questions.
Well, that first one was
Yeah, it's true.